Hey Capricorn, this is Perrymore Tarot's daily reading for October 23rd, 2025. This is for Capricorn. Last shuffle for Capricorn. Let's see what's going on. So, Capricorn. Ooh, I see a lot of blessings coming for you. Angels of the four directions and behind a mask. A lot of things are happening underneath the surface. So many things, in fact, that it feels like you have a lot of blessings, but you may not even be showing that you're blessed. Some of you may be experiencing intense healing, physical healing, emotional healing, especially if you have children. I'm seeing the relationships healing between you and your children. Especially today, there's some kind of event or something that's occurring today that is going to um, heal something with your children. You may not have a lot of issues with them, even if you do or you don't, right? I'm seeing that you're making, but it looks like you're having some divine detours in your path, right? So you may have had plans. You may have a certain way that you communicate or act, the thing, some of the certain decisions that you usually make, that you may be compelled to do things differently. You may be forced to do things differently because spirit is saying that you got to trust in these divine detours, which means that your entire level of convenience or your entire level of like your whatever routine you got something to do with children is going to throw it all off, and it's going to be a divine detour. It's a blessing in disguise. I would say it's in disguise because you're being detoured. I feel that you need to say to yourself, if this is occurring, you're going to need to say consistently. You might need to say it in your head, under your breath, go in the bathroom, look at yourself in the mirror. My ability to conquer my challenges is limitless. My potential to succeed is infinite. You want to say that, and you want to believe in your power to manifest. Breathe your creation into existence. And by breathing, this is involuntary. This is something that's effortless. You just get up and you go, I can do this. Whatever it is, you just take it on. You take it on, right? I feel that you've got to be confident in the situation, but they are telling me that you've got to give you got to give each other space. So you either with children or with a significant other or people, give people space. At the moment, you got to trust and have faith that all will work out for the best, which tells me that there's a problem. Five of Wands and the devil. So there may be some issue, not necessarily a big issue. It doesn't have to be the biggest issue in the world. Sometimes, if children are involved, there may be decisions that we make and we may have made way back when you didn't even really think. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Because sometimes I know when we were younger, right? We were all children at one point. No one was hatched from an egg. At least I don't think so, right? You never know. I don't know if you guys remember way back in the 80s and 90s, alienation, when people were what? Well, back then, I mean, they weren't like, but I would say they live is better because they actually looked like humans. But in alienation, you knew they were not human. There was just no, they were, you knew what they were. But it's almost to say, all right, get back on point. The point is, excuse me, the point is that you may do things, we make decisions, or our parents made decisions when we were young, and it was a blip in this on the screen of, okay, that's what they did, and it was selfish. Maybe they came home so late and came home with cold pizza, and you were like, I've been starving, I was here all day. Back in the day, how like your parent, you go out and play until whenever, and they would forget that you're outside. Because I don't know if you grew up in those times when the 80s, when they used to have those commercials talking about, do you know where your children are? The parents would forget about you and lock the door, go to sleep, and you'd be knocking on the door, let me in, let me climb through my window because my parents forgot that I was outside. I don't know. That was a common thing that I used to see with kids. We'd all be like, we need to hurry up and go home because their parents might, you know, they might forget that they have children, or you get home and they're not home anymore. You're just like, they forgot. They just went out. They didn't leave a note, nothing. Back then, you didn't have caller ID. You didn't have anything like that, right? Or cell phones or anything. So either way, I'm only bringing this up to say that there's decisions that may have been made, and of course it may have caused some contention or some issues, right? You got the five of wands and the devil. So behind a mask, they're telling me that the intention here, that it may be very difficult for you to roll with the go with the flow or roll with the punches. It may be difficult. underneath it all. Like you may be going, sure, okay, but underneath you are mad. You know what I mean? You're dropping some f bombs probably, and you know, hey, it happens to the best of us, right? But Ten of Pentacles, Seven of Pentacles, Chariot, and Two of Wands tells me that you may have been spending a lot of time or working on a project, or you already had plans in motion. You already made some plans with the Two of Wands, and you're headed in that direction. But it shows that there is some work that needs to be done, or there's something that disrupts your pattern. And so, behind a mask, they're showing that you're on track. Like this is putting you on track, even the detour, the delay, whatever it is, the contradiction to whatever plan you had. It's like, okay, this is not cool. They're showing that it's putting you on track. Now, you want to wear the color blue to activate some healing power. And that would be very important. You want to light a blue candle. If you're into candles, you want to wear blue. You want to use blue stones. And I say that due to the fact that they're bringing up blue. This talks about the throat chakra. And so there's something about being a visionary for you. Also, with the Neptune placements I'm seeing in this and the Grand Trine placement that you could have in your chart. Is a configuration that not everyone has, but you want to look and see if that you have one, because it speaks of blessings in store for you. The blessings will come from sacrificing a routine. So you want to look into where your Neptune placements are, because there's somewhat of a sacrifice involved to lead to blessings. So Neptune doesn't always represent sacrifice. A lot of times it represents the illusions that we have, like, if I just keep doing this, I'll be here. There's a lot of illusions that we have in life, a routine that we have in life, especially in America. It's like you go to college and you end up making money, and then you have the white picket fence, and you have the perfect life, right? And you have a pension, and that's not true anymore. That used to be true. Now it's like you go to college, and now you've got student loan debt. Do you understand that you can't pay back? It's like, I don't care how long you work, unless you pay it right off right away. Like you get out of college and they're just like, you know what, I'm just going to give you a job, but I'm going to go ahead and give you 5 years salary up front. And you know what I mean? And that's not happening. It may have happened back in the day, but however it goes, this configuration speaks of a blessing that comes out of a sacrifice. And a lot of times a sacrifice means that you're giving up something that you feel is valuable for something that's even more valuable most of the time. So you want to look into that configuration, that combination. Now, they want you to know that you will overcome whatever comes in, but you want to use blue, like I said, and throat chakra is correlated with the color blue. The throat chakra, you would know if that's coming in, then that would say you need to believe in your power to manifest, and breathing is almost to say you're speaking something into existence. But they're saying that you have to build your confidence, and it comes with time and practice. Now, they're trying to give you practice here with the Five of Wands. Five of Wands sometimes means a test. Like Spirit is putting you through a training, some kind of training ritual, some kind of training something, right? So you may be going through some spiritual training, which is meant to build your confidence in your path. Build your confidence in the fact that no matter if things change or not, if it's out of your control, it's still going to work on your behalf. So when your throat chakra is imbalanced, this would speak of a fear. I mean, well, it would, how you would know is that you might have a fear of speaking up, shyness. So a fear of speaking up could mean that you stutter, that, you know, and that kind of thing. And then you may suppress your emotions and not be very honest about that. And then, the biggest lie that we all tell, we all know, almost everyone does it. I've met a few people, very small portion of people that are amazing people to me, have autism. They tell the truth. If you say, how are you doing, they're like, not so good. Not so good. And I'm like, man, my favorite people, man. But well, everyone I see beauty in all people, to be quite honest with you, which gave me the nickname Kumbaya. It was just ridiculous. So either way, the suppressed emotions, the biggest lie we tell is, I'm okay, everything's okay, I'm all good over here. But You also would experience like a sore throat, laryngitis, right? And it may be frequent. I mean, we all eventually get something like that because viruses don't care, they don't discriminate. But you might experience like thyroid issues, jaw tension, neck pain. So that would mean that maybe someone may be grinding their jaw a lot. You may realize once like maybe when you realize that your jaw's so tense that out of nowhere you feel all this pain because you're like, oh my gosh, I've been tensing up in my jaw. And like just, tense. Fear of speaking, you feel misunderstood when you do speak. You feel like you have a difficulty expressing thoughts and emotions, mostly because of the reactions that you're getting. And The way to clear this up would be you want to journal. You would attempt to sing or chant and do some creative activities. But you'd also want to spend time near water, like using your voice in nature or using your voice in near water. So that could be singing in the shower, talking to yourself, practicing what you would want to say near water. And it doesn't necessarily have to be the bath or the shower. But even if it's raining outside, that might be a moment where you're just sitting next to the window, go outside and just talk, have this, get your words together, right? It's time to reflect. It's time to give yourself time to reflect. Believe in your power to make something happen. Manifestation a lot of times works from the spoken word, especially with blue and that color blue. Um, you would want to use lapis lazuli, right? And this, but by using these stones, because these are the stones, right? You want to use them in many different ways. You want to wear the jewelry, right? You want to wear like a bracelet, right? Because I see lapis lazuli here. You want to wear that. You want to have the stones in your pocket, maybe on your person, in a bag, in your bag that you're carrying with you, in your car, on your desk at work, wherever, or in your space somewhere. Lapis lazuli, turquoise, blue lace agate, aquamarine, sodalite. These are healers and also ones that help open up so that you may be able to communicate in a very healing way, because you want your words to pack a punch, but be something that is necessary to hear so that someone can finally open up. Someone can finally uh, mm, see the vision, heal, maybe, you know what I mean, help things, help one to reconcile something. Maybe you need to reconcile with someone. So you would want to do that. You want to use these oils or the scent. And of course, these are all things that you would want to do whenever your throat's bothering you as well. And that would be chamomile, eucalyptus, lavender, peppermint, and then sandalwood also. So you want to use the oils, you want to use the diffuser. You might want to wear this on your skin or wear this on your clothing so you can smell this. But you wanted the diet that you would need is just to do a lot of liquids. You want to do like herbal teas like peppermint tea, chamomile tea, lavender even with it, um, and fruits, especially berries, very important for it to open up the throat chakra. Even listening to 741 hertz is very helpful because the sense that throat chakra is, I would say, is correlated with is hearing. So I feel joy is fun with the star, and Empress tells me that there's an energy of healing. The fun is in the healing process or saying certain things where it's like a logical, and also that it's building things up. It's building up your empire. So this could be with family. I keep seeing children. So Empress is a parent, but this is about being a very responsible, hopeful parent, one that raises the morale with the words that they say. You want to be very empowering with what you say, and the energy is excitement. When you will see that if you give yourself a chance, you give everyone like somewhat of a, give them space. But when you do speak, you will see this joy, this happiness, or their spirits brightening from what you say. So you'll want to kind of practice that. You'll want to trust in divine detours, even as things change, even as your plans are thwarted or detoured or delayed, derailed, whatever the case is. Just something about your words is going to make everything okay. Spirit is doing this on purpose to put you in a direct contact with certain people also to heal something, just so you know too, right? So you're not struggling or worrying with yourself either. They're saying the answers are within you, and I also see success with the Eight of Wands and the Ace of Swords. Optimism is being successful at getting your point across quickly too. It won't require a whole lot of ums and I don't knows and all that, it would this would happen quickly and successfully. In the near future, I see things being working so well for you. I see things being on the right track. I see you being a main person in the lives. Like, this would be that vibe of, say you are a parent. It would be the vibe of you. Maybe they were more comfortable speaking to the other parent, or they had their aunt or uncle or grandparent they would speak to. You end up becoming the main person that they come to in the near future, which is not necessarily to say that, oh, this is a competition. Behind a mask, they're showing that for many of you, your intention could be to Five of Wands and the Devil sometimes could be like, behind a mask, underneath it all, you maybe, this is like competition, right? But it's not about competition, it's about healing something, right? There's a blessing in healing something instead of being wanting to be right, wanting to be and that's basically, yeah, wanting to be somewhat in an illusion. Because when we are in control, and I don't see you being having control issues, but when we are divinely detoured, that usually means that no matter what Spirit's showing me, I'm still doing this. And Spirit's like, yeah, you know what? You're not getting it. I sent you some billboards. I sent you some angel numbers. I sent you a whole bunch of stuff, and you still haven't done. So guess what? I'm about to flatten your tire. I'm about to and if this children are involved, which I keep seeing there too, it might be to flatten your tire while a child is driving, so that now you have to talk to that child because you keep working, right? 7 and 10 of Pentacles, like, keep working on something. I have to stop you now. So now you have to go over there and you have to do it, and you better say the right thing, Capricorn. I'm seeing angel number 0505. It's an unexpected shifting number, so it's a divine intervention. Okay, Spirit. This number serves as a gentle nudge to pursue whatever interests you most. And maybe to me, this looks like a facade. Like, I don't really want to work, I'm just doing so. I feel that whatever is happening here is going to rock your boat. And, but you'll end up exactly where you're meant to be, where you belong. Now, that could be in someone's arms, doing something amazing, traveling, or your dream job, or the dream opportunity, or the dream scenario. You end up having what it is that you're looking for. Blessings are coming in the near future. So I see this happening for you, Capricorn. I don't know. I don't know what else to say because it's consistent. So I'm going to leave it there. But you would want to look, you could be dealing with another Capricorn. I see Taurus, I see Libra, I see Aquarius, I see Cancer. So you could be a Capricorn Aquarius cusp. And that seems to be it. If you're not dealing with those signs, which you don't have to be, those signs could also be in your chart. If you'd like to book a personal reading with me, my links are on my page. Peace, love, and light. Take care.